70 pounds ago, your CRP was so high, I thought my husband's going to have a stroke here any day.
I'm not eating. And at this moment, I am right at the end of 40 hours of not eating. It's not a fun thing. It's not something I think that I can continue to do forever. It's hard to lose weight. I mean, it is really hard. But, I know that I can do it, and I know I can figure it out. You ready?
Yep.
So over the past holidays, I actually ended up gaining just about 8 pounds, and kind of thought that it was temporary, I could just get it off before anyone noticed. But there have been a few comments on YouTube, and some not so kind, so we figured that we needed to probably address that today. So in this video, Becky is going to interview me and ask some of the questions that you have asked or would like to ask, just kind of trying to figure that out.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, so holidays, what happened?
So holidays, so Thanksgiving and Christmas, I allowed myself 2 cheat days. So Thanksgiving is the end of November here in this country, Christmas is the end of December, so like a month between. So I allowed myself on Thanksgiving to have, some typical Thanksgiving food. I think I even had a little apple pie that day, and it was really good. Then I had about a month before Christmas rolled around, and I figured that's good. A month between those days, that should be fine. And Christmas came, so we had Christmas dinner with the family, and kind of the same thing. I didn't go crazy, but I definitely ate a little bit more carbs than I normally would, and in between that time, I followed my diet plan like I typically do. I keep pretty close track of things, and it sounds pretty mundane, but I eat a lot of the very same things all the time. It just keeps me on track because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
And it doesn't bother me to have meatloaf, 4 out of 7 nights or whatever.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, so why do you think you gained weight?
Yeah. Well, so I guess I had just assumed that it was like some temporary weight gain from having the carbs and all that, and that I could probably just get rid of it before anybody noticed and be right back down to my normal. So my normal is 170 to 174, and I popped up to 182, even 183. So I'm at a little bit of a loss. We know that genetically I'm cursed. That we know that I have a pretty tough metabolism, and it's almost like I had a new set point, which is scary because those are hard. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. So what have you tried in the past month to lose weight?
So the first thing, when I kind of realized that this might not be just a real easy thing to get off, the first thing was just really tightening up on my diet, just making sure everything was right in line with what's always worked with me. Like I say, my routine meals, calorie cycling, where I'm a little higher, a little lower, all those things. The one thing I don't want to do is lower my calories so much that I'm having some kind of negative effect on my thyroid. That's just going to be the worst, end of all those things. The other thing I did was I kind of ramped up my activity. The first thing I do when I get up in the morning, I get up a half hour earlier now, and I'm down walking on the treadmill. After we eat dinner in the evening, I go down and I walk on the treadmill. And that's in addition to going to the gym, 3 mornings a week. That's in addition to playing hockey like I normally do. At this point in the year, I'm not as active, outside doing things like that. But, that I don't know that really counts in much in what this situation is going on. So that's what I've tried.
Right. So we are in early February now. Did that work?
Not really. I mean, the scale will go down like a little bit here and there, but I couldn't break past 180. I mean, 180. And
well, I'm gonna stop you here and just put this into perspective a little bit. We are doing this because we are on YouTube, and that is just the where we are with this. But we can't. We have to put this in perspective. You started this whole journey 3 years ago at 249. What was it?
250, two something. Yeah.
249. You got down to 169, 80 pounds lost. Now you are, currently you're at like 179. I mean, that's 70 pounds of weight loss. 70 pounds ago, your ankles were swollen because your circulation was so poor. You were sleeping on the couch because you were snoring. Your CRP was so high. I thought my husband's going to have a stroke here any day. You don't have any of those factors anymore. So yes, this is a challenge, but this is, we'll just put this back in perspective. So let's get back to where we were. What are you currently doing?
So currently I've decided, because we did a little experimentation with alternate day fasting in the past. We did a video, we kind of tried that. And I'm doing the actual alternate day fasting where I'm not eating anything. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, I don't eat anything. So from Monday night, 8 o'clock, till Wednesday, whenever I start eating, I'm not eating. And at this moment, I am right at the end of 40 hours of not eating. And I started this last week. So I'm going to tell you, I mean, it sucks. It's hard. Mm-hmm. It's not a fun thing. It's not something that I think that I can continue to do forever. But it is starting to tip the scale, moving a little bit, in the right direction. So I'm going to continue it until I can get down to the point where I can hopefully do something that's a little better for my sanity and everybody else's sanity around me. But yeah, I check my glucose. Mm-hmm. I have a continuous glucose monitor that rarely gets over 60. It drops into the 40s overnight. My ketones, I'm doing pretty good there. I just checked that I was at 0.7. I'll be anywhere from 0.7. I think 1.1 was, kind of on my higher end. So it seems to be working. So I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. So let's take a look at the future. So what do we make of this and take with us?
Well, and I guess I want to put this out there because I know that there's a lot of people watching who are probably just like me. They have, whether genetics or, metabolic damage. I was heavy for 25 years, right. Most of my adult life, the majority. That's just a lot of metabolic damage. And, genetically, I'm just cursed. It's hard to lose weight. I mean, it is really hard. And it's so easy to gain weight. It's like a cruel joke, but it is what it is, and that's the reality. So, there are ways to do it, and there are ways to, and it may take some real fortitude, to knuckle down and do it. But, I know that I can do it, and I know I can figure it out. And if what I'm doing now stops working, I'll figure out another way to do it. It's kind of just, like I said, mm-hmm. It is a reality.
Yeah. Well, and no one works harder. So let's ask us, a ketogenic diet, are you going to be on ketogenic diet for the rest of your life?
I think for me, I probably will. And it's not, ketogenic diet, I actually like a ketogenic diet. I've been on it for 3 years. It's easy. I eat a lot of the same meals, day after day after day, because it helps me. I know exactly what's in those meals. I know where, my head, where I'm at, nutrient wise. and you're very good about preparing those things for me. So thank you for that. Been doing it for 3 years, so it's the ketogenic diet is not hard for me.
Yeah.
And I think with my metabolism and again, my genes, all those fat genes I got, I think the ketogenic diet is probably what I'm gonna, as long as, for however long I want to stay healthy, I think that I'm gonna have to follow the ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
So it's my choice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't really have a closing on that one, so we're just going to call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. We hope that this was meaningful in some way, and we'll see you in the next video.